guys, thank you for coming back to Start Invest. This is Neo. Thank you guys. Today I'm gonna talk about business model. Business model is very important. Let me put down the ball first. Before you start the business, you have to find out what is the problem that you need to solve. What's the purpose of you opening up a business? If, for example, you want to open up a coffee shop, is it because you have a special type of coffee that other coffee shop or cafe do not have? Or is it because you can combine it with some top of the world croissant or other baking products? And if you can add value to customer, and if you have done enough research or researches that show you there is a market for that, then of course you can go ahead and start your business venture, right? But it's not start, but start to prepare, right, for everything. Business memorandum, business plan, talking to creditor, how you're gonna finance your business, how you're gonna get capital in the future as well. Okay, now you look at the market, what is missing, right? You look at commerce. Amazon already has been disrupting it since 20-30 years ago. Amazon IPO'd in 1997, if I'm not wrong. Originally, Jeff Bezos approached 20 individuals, each asked for $50,000 US. So 20 individuals or 20 households, Jeff Bezos would have a capital of $1 million USD to start his venture. But you know, some of those 20 people who have been approached by Jeff Bezos declined the offer or the deal, and they probably regret a lot today, right? Otherwise, think about it. If it is 1 million for just even 5% of Amazon stock, then 20 individuals share that 5% of Amazon stock, you know, that is still amazingly high, right? It's like even 0.1% of Amazon will make you so super rich these days, because 0.1 times the trillions in market cap of Amazon, you know. Okay, anyway, back to our topic. Business model. You find where the problem is in this existing world. So you have seen how Amazon digitalized everything, commerce, and make it more efficient in the process. Then you find out, oh, the banking industry is still using 50 years ago, 70 years ago, manual process, going through third-party clearing house, wiring the money to another country. You have to go through third-party exchange platforms or exchange markets, and then pay another vendor, another layer of fee, another layer of personnel, if you will, and delay the whole process. Versus if SoFi is gonna use blockchain technologies, then you wire money from the United States and then you get money in Mexico in minutes, right? And then for almost zero fee, almost, compared to now they charge you probably, you know, 3%, 5% if you want it right away the same day, you know, because there are so many layers of inefficiency baked to the legacy system of banking and financing. That's why time, you know, is time-consuming process and also costly. But SoFi, CEO of SoFi, Anthony Noto, saw this issue, saw the problem, many years ago, and he wants to revolutionize and digitalize the whole banking, financing, investing industries. So he has so far to do what Amazon has been doing since the inception of Amazon, to revolutionize the whole commerce industry. So far he's doing the same, but to finance industry. So now you have your mission of your company. Now you find out the issue of today, you find what the problem is, and where you can add, or your company can add value or potentially solve the entire problem. If you can, that would be great. Tesla, or a lot of the Chinese EV company, they have artificial intelligence to use software to replace human drivers, right? So that we can be relaxed while in the car, we can take a nap, we can watch TV, we can do whatever we want while the car drive themselves, or they can just park themselves. While we are busy, we may need to get to work right away, tell the car, oh, you park yourself, okay? And then the car go away and find a parking by itself, right? Okay, so a lot of Chinese electric car companies are competing with Tesla on that front. And then you have other companies such as Meta, or formerly known as Facebook. They revolutionize how we communicate with each other, with our friends, relatives, in another part of the world, not in the same country or not in the same city. Whereas before, without Facebook, we have to call long distance, and that is time consuming and inefficient and costly, as we all know. So Facebook give you free access to use their platform to have your own website, so you can communicate with your family via their Facebook Messenger or their video chat, whatever how you name it. And then yeah, in the process, right, they disrupt the entire worldwide communication channel, right? They give you free, they give you that ability to do that, to communicate with someone in another part of the world for free. In return, they just have advertisement, so they use advertisement revenue to compensate for their free utility functions for you, right, or for me. And so same way how YouTube, right, provides free utility for all of us if we don't want to pay the monthly fee. But then they also will use advertising revenue to compensate or to finance the ongoing operation of YouTube, right? So okay, so now that is the funding part of how you will carry out your business. So what if in the future you need to expand, or you need to buy out another company or acquire another company? For example, you are a cafe business, but there is at another corner of the city, there is a very successful cafe, you really want to acquire it. That owner is about to retire, but then you need to come up with a financing or capital channel. Then banking, loan, business loan, issue company stock. So even if you have a small cafe, you can issue share percentage of ownership for your cafe in return of some capital, right? Fresh capital, so you can buy out the other business. Or you can ask for family members if they have money for you, right? And then so once you have the business plan, you find out the problem, then you have your company mission, then you have a plan as to how you will carry out the plan, how to solve the issue, and then how to provide new value to your clients, and then how you may finance the day-to-day operation or and how you may have capital, fresh capital in the future if you need to acquire new company or you need to expand to other new markets, right? Then here comes the very different issue of your business plan, where you have to find out how to what are your distribution channel. For example, if you are YouTube, right, your distribution channel is that you have a centralized location, and then you have all the video in the storage system, and then it has to have very high security, high efficiency, and use as little amount of energy as possible. And yeah, so you have to find out, and then you have to maybe distribute those streaming video via the internet, you know, or via the how other people do it is via the wire, the old internet way. But nowadays we all do the streaming, you know, over the air. So 5G, yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. 5G or 6G in China, right? Okay, or Starlink or whatever you have. And yeah, so your distribution channel is very important. Is it a very efficient one, low cost one? In the example of AppLovin, Palantir, Big Bear AI, Robinhood, SoFi Technologies, they all use software. Software, the beauty of software is once you have written the code, if you already have 10 clients, if you want to acquire another 10 clients, the next 10 clients only need to download the code through wire or through over the air, through 5G, 6G, whatever. And then the acquisition cost of the next 10 clients is almost zero, right? Since the code has been written. In the case, let's take a look at a second case of Tesla. In order to acquire 10 new clients, they have to make 10 new cars first, right? So that 10 new cars, each car maybe, for example, need $20,000 US to make, and then it needs maybe, let's say, 1 week to 2 weeks to make each car. So you, in order to acquire the next 10 new customers or clients, Tesla had to spend 20,000 times 10, which is 200,000 to acquire the next 10 customers. So which company do you think is more efficient? Software, 100% software, such as SoFi Technologies, Robinhood, AppLovin, Palantir, those companies versus Tesla. So which one will be more easier for the distribution channel, right? So a lot of people argue that Tesla is also part of software company. Yes, you can say that if their revenue or more than 50% of their revenue comes from software, but unfortunately, the fact check is that most of their revenue come from selling hardware, which is their vehicle and their batteries, right? So the software, the full self-driving is not quite there yet, as we all know. So fact check, as of today, no Tesla vehicle can drive themselves without a human driver or without supervision, right? That is fact. So this is not something that I don't know why a lot of people argue on the internet. I see that even on Reddit. Oh, by the way, talking about Reddit, their business model, their distribution channel, how they acquire new customer is amazing. It's zero cost because they have a great network effect. In order for you or me, right, we run into some issue, we want to find some solutions, we try to go to either YouTube, see if there are video that help us, teach us how to do certain thing, right? If we find some issue and want to learn something, or another way, which is to use to log on to our Reddit account, or take a look and search and see if we can find similar topics that we are looking for, right? And so Reddit increasingly has people who are looking for similar ideas, similar topics. They group together, and then as more people join, more people contribute their inputs to the same topics, then they share more and more in-depth knowledge among the group of people. And so in that sense, people are drawn to the site automatically. You don't even have to advertise the site, because people want to find solutions to everyday problems or want to learn something new, you know. Then the first thing that people think of is, oh, Reddit. Let's go to reddit.com and see, or download the app and see if, you know, I can find someone to talk to and see if I can learn something new today, right? The other channel is YouTube, but YouTube takes longer time because it's video, right? Video based. Versus Reddit, people can actually open it while working, and it's less obvious, right? Yeah, when you are reading something versus watching some videos. Okay, so now we talk about distribution, we talk about business model. Then the next thing is what about the cost structure? And then since I don't want the video to be too long, I will save it for next time. And it is time to shoot some baskets before sunset. Guys, thank you so much for coming back, and I hope that we all have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the sunset.